Okay, as requested, someone asked me to take a look at the song Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, specifically the Eric Clapton version. So I'm going to kind of take you through my process of how I would get into a song like this and maybe some things I would do to improvise over it. So, with any song, I really want to know what key it's in and I want to know the chord progression. So, let's start by listening.
Once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, didn't have any care. Took all my friends out for a mighty good time. We bought bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall slow. Also, my good friend had nowhere to go. I get my hands on the dollar again. I'll hang on to it till that old eagle wins. Because nobody loves you when you're
Okay.
down.
So, basically, what I'm hearing is kind of a traditional jazzy, halfway between jazz and blues kind of progression. And I'm hearing that it's in the key of C, okay? So, I'm not sure whether I want to make that a C7 or like a C6. I think I'm going to start with like a C6, which is just a C major with an A included. But I could just do a C triad if I wanted to. I kind of thought it was going down to B flat, but that's actually not doing that. It's not doing that either. I think it just walks down in the bass to A7, D minor, back to A7 probably, back to D minor 7. Now this is a very common kind of a jazz turnaround, going to the 4 chord. We're in the key of C, so that would be F. I'm doing an F6 by the way. F sharp diminished. And then C, this chord is actually like a C over G. Let me make sure I get this right. And then like up to an A7. So that would be like this. One measure on D7 and one measure on G7. So here's the progression. Not sure if I like what I did there in the beginning, but it's close. So that's basically what's going on. Now I would have to listen to the whole song to determine if there are any other chord progressions going on. Obviously, if there are, then I'm going to want to be aware of what those are.
In your pocket, not one penny. And as your friends, you don't have many. When you get back on your feet, everybody wants to be almost free. I said you without any doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out.
So, my first approach would be kind of to play something with a triplet-y kind of a feel, because this is kind of a triplet-driven song. I'll kind of explain what I mean. triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. So that can be a good place to start rhythmically. It's certainly not like a limitation, like it's not the only thing you can do rhythmically, but it's a good place to start. And if you listen to the solo that he plays, I kind of played over it, but you can tell that that's basically what he's doing, coming from that kind of a rhythmic approach. Okay. Okay, so naturally, I'm just learning this right here and now, so I didn't play it perfectly. There's a lot of stuff I would change and adjust. I would get deeper into the harmony. Um, I'll talk about some of the approaches that I kind of took with this, okay? So, at the beginning of the progression, we have a C basically going down to an A7. So, there's my C. The B in the bass is kind of just like a passing note almost. Basically going to A7, okay? So over the C, there's a lot of things I could do there. I like to kind of think, am I going to take a bluesier approach or a more traditional major scale kind of approach? Since this is kind of a bluesy song, you can definitely do the bluesy thing. Which would be, more like a. You could try a C minor pentatonic, even though it's a C major chord. You can try it, okay? If you don't like the sound of that, stick with something more traditional. For a C major. Okay, now I know I'm going to be landing on the A7. So I know my strong notes for each chord. Okay, this is something you really want to know in advance. A7, your chord tones are going to be A, C sharp, E, and G. Okay, and you're going to also be resolving to a D minor. So D minor. Okay, now we have an F. Let's talk about this turnaround thing. F, which is the 4 chord. F sharp, like a sharp 4 diminished. This is a C with G in the bass. Then A7 again. And then we have a D7, G. Okay, so over the 4 chord, I was trying to mainly stick to the chord tones. So, like for example, over the F, I was kind of doing this. That's again sticking with that triplety rhythmic feel I was talking about. And those notes, I'm starting on the G string, G, sorry, G string, but the notes are F, G, and A. Sticking very clearly to like an F major sound for that F major chord. Then I have the diminished. Well, all I did there was move up my root a half step. And that kind of gets me into that diminished. Which then I resolve to the C chord, A7 chord, that's the D7 chord. So really what I'm doing is really trying to target the strong notes, okay? And those are chord tones and extensions. And there's a lot of other notes you can use as well, but you want to use them more in passing, okay? So I know that's kind of a lot of information, and I'm literally just learning this today. I've never played this song in my life, so naturally, if I were going to play this on stage, I would study it a lot harder than I just did in about 10 minutes or whatever. But hopefully, that gives you some insight into how to approach a new song and everything from there. So, hopefully, you enjoyed this video. See you again soon. Thanks.